Good morning students. So today I am going to explain about mechanism of urine formation. So already you know that the kidney, so that is the organ which can produce urine, and the urine contains poisonous compounds or the waste material, and these material need to be excreted out of the body. So what is the actual mechanism? How the urine, so that is produced in kidney. Okay. Yesterday I explained you that the kidney is made up of single units, and the single unit, so that is called nephron. Okay, and the nephron, so that is having one is the glomerulus, which is entering into the Bowman's capsule. Then you can find out the renal tubule is there, which is having a descending limb, loop of Henle, and the ascending limbs. Okay. Now the renal artery. Okay, so the renal artery, so that is a branch of aorta. In the blood circulation chapter also I had explained you that the artery which carries blood away from the heart, oxygenated blood, so that is aorta. Then the aorta is branches and the rebranches, and all the branches they are going to different parts of the body. Okay. Now one of the branch of the aorta which is known as the renal artery. So renal artery, that is the branch of aorta. If you remember blood circulation chapter, aorta is the largest artery and it carries oxygenated blood to different parts of the body. So a branch of aorta, so that is called renal artery. And the renal artery can take oxygenated blood to kidney, which is having toxic materials. Okay. And as the artery is entering into kidney, now further it is divided into 5 branches, and these branches they are called arterioles. Okay. Now this is the part of the nephron. This is Bowman's capsule, and one is the descending limb, then the loop of Henle, then another is the ascending limb. And inside the Bowman capsule, this is called glomerulus. Glomerulus, so that is knot of capillaries. Capillaries का एक बंडल है, और एक कैपिलरीज का बंडल किससे बना हुआ है? आर्टेरियोल से. ठीक है. जो आर्टेरियोल इसके अंदर में एंटर कर रहा है, so that is called afferent arteriole, and the arteriole which is leaving the Bowman capsule, so that is called efferent arteriole. Now what is the difference between these two arterioles? The diameter of the afferent arteriole, so that is 2 times broader in comparison to the diameter of the efferent arteriole. So afferent arteriole जो है उसका diameter ज़्यादा है, और उसके बाद ये Bowman कैप्सूल में जब एंटर कर रहा है तो ये सडनली नैरो हो जाता है, इसका diameter 2 times कम हो जाता है. And the efferent arteriole, इसका diameter जो है इससे 2 times कम है. So that is the difference between the afferent and the efferent arteriole. Okay, and also the afferent arteriole, so that brings oxygenated blood, but the blood is having toxic compounds. And the efferent arteriole, after the filtration of the blood in Bowman's capsule, it can carry the blood, oxygenated blood, but which is free from toxic compounds. So that is the difference between the afferent and the efferent arteriole. And the filtration which is taking place in Bowman capsule, so that is taking place under pressure, because you know that the blood it is having a hydrostatic pressure. The plasma, the maximum part of the plasma, so that is the water. And with the help of the hydrostatic pressure, the filtration of the blood is taking place, and all the poisonous compounds which are there in the blood, so that is filtered out into Bowman's capsule. तो Bowman capsule जो है ये फनल जैसा है, और किडनी में इस तरह से मिलियन ऑफ द Bowman capsule है, मिलियन ऑफ द नेफ्रॉन है. हर नेफ्रॉन जो है ये फनल जैसा है, और हर फनल जो है ये ब्लड का फिल्ट्रेशन कर रहा है. तो 1 मिनट में किडनी में कितना ब्लड एंटर कर रहा है, कितना फिल्ट्रेशन हो रहा है? So that is around 1100 ml to 1200 ml. The mechanism of urine formation, that is divided into 3 steps: ultrafiltration, tubular reabsorption, and tubular secretion. Okay. So first we will discuss about ultrafiltration. The filtration which is taking place under tremendous pressure, so that is called ultrafiltration. So how it is taking place? Now here you see the diagram, the arteriole which is entering into Bowman capsule. So the name of the arteriole, that is afferent arteriole, and the diameter is 2 times more than the diameter of the efferent arteriole. Okay. Now, as the efferent arteriole, which is having a large diameter, so that is entering into Bowman's capsule. Now, suddenly the diameter is becoming narrow, and when the diameter is becoming narrow, then the blood which is there in the arteriole, so that comes under pressure. क्योंकि ज़्यादा क्वांटिटी में ब्लड जो है बोवेन कैप्सूल के अंदर में एंटर कर रहा है, बट सडनली जब ये उसके डायमीटर जब नैरो हो जा रहा है तो ब्लड जो है ये प्रेशर में आ जा रहा है, और ये प्रेशर में क्या हो जा रहा है, क्योंकि यहाँ जो प्रेशर है क्या है एक्चुअली ये हाइड्रोस्टैटिक प्रेशर है, और ये प्रेशर क्या कर रहा है, ये ब्लड को फिल्टर करने में हेल्प कर रहा है. एंड मेनी कंपाउंड्स, फॉर एग्जांपल द मैक्सिमम अमाउंट ऑफ द वाटर, सम ऑफ द ग्लूकोज, सम ऑफ द अमीनो एसिड्स, some of the salt, they are filtered with the help of the hydrostatic pressure. ठीक है, तो इसको हम फिल्ट्रेशन बोल रहे हैं, इसको हम अल्ट्रा फिल्ट्रेशन बोल रहे हैं. और ये जो फिल्ट्रेशन हो रहा है, now this is the wall of the blood vessel and this wall is called the endothelium and this is the epithelium of the Bowman's capsule. ये दोनों के बीच में और एक मेम्ब्रेन है जिसको हम बोल रहे हैं बेसमेंट मेम्ब्रेन. So if this is the blood vessel, arteriole, and this is the epithelium of Bowman's capsule. Then between these two layers there is another layer which is called basement membrane. So the filtration that is taking place in between these three layers, and on the wall of the epithelium of the Bowman capsule, the cells which are present, these cells they are called podocytes. And the podocyte they are having small opening which are called the slit pore. Alright, so the blood that is entering with the help of the arteriole, afferent arteriole. Now suddenly when the diameter is becoming narrow, now the blood is coming under pressure, and with the help of the pressure, now there is a filtration of the blood. Maximum part of the plasma, except the protein and the cell. The protein and the cell they are remaining in the arterioles, and maximum amount of the water, some of the glucose and the amino acid and the salt, they are filtered. So the process that is called ultrafiltration. Okay, and now the filtrate, so that is entering this space of the Bowman capsule with the help of the small opening which are there in the epithelium of the Bowman's capsule, and this filtrate which is collected here, so that is called primary urine. Or this is called glomerular filtrate. Glomerular filtrate. Alright, so for example, suppose you take a, जैसे आप चाय छक लीजिए, है ना? अगर आप चाय जो है उसका अगर आप छाक रहे हो, तो छकने के ऊपर में आपको पत्ती है, पानी जो है नीचे चला जा रहा है. उसी तरह से बोमन कैप्सूल जो है ये एक फनल शेप स्ट्रक्चर है, और ब्लड का जब फिल्ट्रेशन होने के बाद जब यूरिन जब यहाँ पर आ रहा है, then the urine, so that will enter into renal tubule, because the next part of the Bowman capsule, so that is called the renal tubule. And the amount of filtrate which is produced every day in the body, what is the amount of the filtrate which is produced? So that is 180 liter. अगर हमारा बॉडी से 180 लीटर पानी अगर हर दिन निकल जाएगा तो we cannot survive. तो ये जो अमाउंट जो है उसको हमको कंट्रोल करना है, चेक करना है. और यूरिन हम कितना एक्सपेल कर रहे हैं हर दिन में, ओनली 1 to 1.5 लीटर. तो इसका मतलब ये जो बाकी जो फिल्ट्रेट है उसको रीअब्जॉर्ब होना है ब्लड में. ठीक है, सो द अल्ट्रा फिल्ट्रेशन, सो दैट इज टेकिंग प्लेस इन Bowman capsule, and the amount of the filtrate, so that is controlled by an area. So that area is called juxtaglomerular area, JGA. And the area, so that is very sensitive area. So that is the meeting point between the distal convoluted tubule and the afferent arteriole. Now, if there is the abnormal amount of the filtrate is produced, then the renin is produced from this area, and the renin is responsible for controlling the amount of glomerular filtrate. So the next step, that is tubular reabsorption. As I told you, now this filtrate, which is called the primary urine, it is having maximum amount of water and some of usable compounds like the glucose and the amino acids, some of the salts, like the salt, sodium and the potassium, they are having use in the body. Okay, so these reusable, these usable compounds which are there in the filtrate, So there is a requirement to be again taken back into the blood, and that process is called tubular reabsorption. And tubular reabsorption, so that is taking place in this part of the tubule. So that is taking place in the initial part of the tubule, because the tubule is having a descending limb, then U-shape, loop of Henle, then there is an ascending limb. So in the initial part of the descending limb, there is a tubular reabsorption is taking place, and again all the usable compounds which are there in the filtrate, so that is entering into the blood, because the efferent arteriole, so that comes and that is taking a branch of the network-like structure around the tubule, so that there is transfer of the usable compounds from the urine again into the blood. And the process it can take place either actively or passively. Actively, there is requirement of the ATP. And in the inner wall of the Bowman's capsule, there are many mitochondria, they are present and they can produce the energy. So this energy can be used for the reabsorption process. Okay. And here also you can find out this part of the tubule. This is the proximal part of the tubule. Here maximum water that is absorbed, because there are the different part of the tubule which are responsible for either absorbing the different compounds or for giving out the different compounds. So the role is also different. Now the next step, so that is the tubular secretion. Now in the tubular secretion, so that is taking place in the distal convoluted tubule. Now all the branches of the capillaries which are surrounding the tubule, now in the blood, if some salts they are remaining, then these salts again they are excreted into the urine. So that is, this is the way how these salts they are secreted from the blood into the urine. And the urine which is produced here, so that is called the primary urine, which is diluted, which is having large amount of the water. But as the urine it is moving to this part, then gradually it is becoming concentrated. Why? Because the proximal convoluted tubule, now that is responsible for absorbing the maximum amount of the water. So the urine which is becoming concentrated here, now here you can find out, now some of the salts they will go outside and then the urine will be diluted. So ultimately you can find out per day only 1 liter to 1.5 liter of the urine, so that is produced by the body or it is expelled out of the body. And the remaining amount of the water and the usable compound again they are returning back into the blood. So this is the way how the urine, so that is produced in the human body. So as I told you, the different part of the renal tubule, proximal convoluted tubule, loop of Henle and the distal convoluted tubule, they are having the different functions. Okay, and then the proximal convoluted tubule, so that is helping in the reabsorption of the 70 to 80% of the salt or the electrolyte and the water. Then the loop of Henle, here you can find out the reabsorption, so that is a minimum. And here it is responsible for maintaining the osmolarity of the interstitial fluid. So what is interstitial fluid? Now while explaining the anatomy of the kidney, I have told you inside the kidney there are medullary pyramids are there, and the space which is there in between these pyramids, so that is called interstitial space. And in the space also you can find out the fluid is there, so that is called interstitial fluid. So maintaining the osmolarity means maintaining the amount of the water of this fluid. So that is also essential or equally important. So the loop of Henle is responsible for that. And the distal convoluted tubule, so that is conditionally if there is a requirement, then it is reabsorbing the sodium, iron and the water, and it is secreting the H plus ion and the K plus ion and the ammonia. So the role is different. So ultimately you can find out there are millions of the nephrons are there, and all the collecting duct they are opening into this part, and this part is called pelvis. So ultimately the final urine from each nephron, so that is collecting in the part of the pelvis, then the tube which is emerging from the kidney, so that is called ureter. And the ureter, so that can carry the urine from the kidney into the urinary bladder. So in the urinary bladder the urine, so that is stored temporarily, then periodically under the control of the nervous system or the signal it is getting from the nervous system, so that is a voluntary mechanism. We can, as per our own wish, we can do, but somehow it is controlled by the nervous system. So the urethral opening, so that will open, and the urine, so that is expelled out of the system.